Ubekaya enche bia na obi will. And I who say, hey,
Achimata forever.
That's what is happening. You just say, you know, idea. Now, so I can't share and wheels more.
So, what impression are we creating? It's like, say, you're buying unless we give it to individuals. I mean, I don't get it. Anyway, let's go into it. Yeah, sure, genesis of this whole Senate hotels and
Inti me intercepted documents from Senate. Say, Onua selected a preferred buyer. Say your hotels no, Omo ton 4 of the hotels. Labadi Beach Hotel, La Palm Royal, Ridge Royal, and Elmina Beach. Omo ton ama the Honorable Minister for Food and Agriculture, Brian Achampo. And I'm because then I hotels are a year in a year. I didn't know yet Toma Nipabako, the company Rock City, and Usher incorporation documents are secure. No, Onua na oye the beneficial owner, or your director. There were 2 directors, or you're one of the directors. Onua no ye beneficial owner, Onua no ye the sole shareholder. Into this attempt by some people to say, oh, a hotel, but maybe only interest be a woman, Debbie. On relinquishing the interest. On one idea. Into Rock City, Omunya Sika, Omunya Profiter, a Cobra jump on the account. Into so far this transaction, what is say, Ubia Akasa on behalf of Rock City. On one or Kasama Rock City. On one. That should tell you, say, a media. Into that is the first point. Now, me who saw letter no, and immediately me can say, nipa we were buying mo, or your minister, na transaction no air cost or more finalize here. They are just about to sign. Until under the constitution, no, if you have suspicion of conflict of interest,
sure,
the forum, baby, as I say, we call. Shraj na constitutional ama omutumi inti entemara 17th May ena may file a petition to Shraj, a conflict of interest petition grounded on article 284. Okay, article 284 of the Constitution of Ghana yachro say a public officer shall not put himself in a position where his personal interests conflict or is likely to conflict with the performance of the functions of his office. And we a public officer and says we engage in conduct. Now, we share Shraj rulings. Me was Shraj rulings no. Okay. Our more ruling Shraj for a very classic case on conflict of interest. The Anane case, and me was that decision September 15. 2006, Miss Anna Bosman at the time, Onua, the acting commissioner, chairperson. Now, the way Omu defining conflict of interest in that ruling by Shraj, Omuka said, page 21, Omuka said, the commission has held that a public official breaches this provision not only where there is actual conflict of interest, but also where there is a likelihood of conflict of interest.
Okay.
Where there is already in existence a personal relation between a public officer and another person, or between their respective institutions or companies, there is an onerous responsibility on the public officer to ensure that all future transactions between the 2 persons or institutions are conducted with utmost transparency and in such manner as to avoid suspicion of any improper motive or conduct. That is the Shraj ruling. Into conflict of interest, no, it's not only actual. A perceived, apparent, say even the likelihood, the suspicion, because we a minister, or more taking decision, or more tone hotels way. Can they really look at a minister, cabinet minister, and say yen toma, yen favor, into the likelihood, and in addition to this constitutional provision, Article 284, no, Uber. Article 78 and Article 98. There were other conflict of interest guidelines. Article 78. I see. Ministers of state shall be appointed. Article 78. 78.3. I say, a minister of state shall not hold any other office of profit or emolument, whether private or public, and whether directly or indirectly, unless otherwise permitted by the speaker, acting on the recommendation of a committee of parliament, on the ground that A, that holding that office will not prejudice the work of the minister, and B, that no conflict of interest arises or will arise as a result of the minister holding that office. Okay, Article 98, where it applies to members of parliament. And we are minister, we are MP. What to mean holding office of profit? Just say you meet the committee of holding office of profit. No, my investigation say transaction we know there's no conflict of interest. Now speaker, I'm our certificate. And so
process and
yaketwa. We na on our branch on 1 year. My checking records no me were all the 47 ministers and MPs are or more certificate from the speaker ni din enka ho enti we breach article 70 we breach article 98 snade for omo ye omo ejuma anka say so omo hu say this person has not met the requirement only certificate enti say so omo entertaining no cry enti all of this matters are a wash shraj now me call shraj no ena minia me intercepting more documents. Document bakwa me intercepting ewa ha. Snid for ankasa omo memo, internal memo.
Yeah.
On the valuation of these hotels. Sena Rock City bid no. Offer now omo ye no was far below. Into eba value for money. Anka yenyina ansori. Anko and tear this transaction anka is a giveaway. Memo no say and snake for anka memo.
Okay.
4 hotels no total valuation $121 million. Nanso Rock City omo offer just $61 million.
Out of the 121.
Out of the $121 million.
Hey.
Yes. Labadi Beach Hotel. Snake for anka valuation almost say Monton Hotel no 60% shares no. Monton no for $45.1 million. Rock City offer 29.4 million.
Ah.
Yeah. Just half. La Palm Royal, Rock City for Ankasa omo valuation. Independent valuers omo year valuation. Almost say Monton no $47.1 million. Snake for say Rock City offer no. Or more general, or more entertaining, $21 million, not 47, half, less than half. Ridge Royal, $15.3 million. Rock City say or $8.4 million, not 15.
Hey.
Yeah, that's what we are talking about.
That's a bid in no amount now is less than half
of the actual valuation.
Actual value.
Yeah, less than half of the value.
Okay.
Elmina Beach. You see, Montono 60% shares,
okay.
$13.7 million. Rock City, see, the Ombema $2.4 million. Can you believe that? Not 13.7. Into Osha Rock City bid now, there's no value for money. No value for money. Into say, Kase Adewe. A conflict of interest, a canana, more from a colleague in government, and you are creating a special dispensation for him. This is the evidence. Meanwhile, no, as same way by me call Shraj, a publisher, you know, Snade for Eba Bontin because Rock City bid was the highest.
The highest.
We will get good money. Omupe strategic investor. Now say Rock City Edisika Bar, and they made the highest bid. And Chebiana Freddie Blay. Okoye interview when he was attacking me, and all they told you say neba every day for $150 to $200 million. Inti Ebanisena Snade for Cho and Troka say Bra Champon bid no the highest 61 million. Can it compare to $150 to $200 million? And
now say
clearly no.
Freddie Blaine ne bid no crowd was so. How did that man raise that kind of money?
Good question. That is another major question. Or 33 years. And there are a lot of wonders.
What's this? This kind of thing.
$150 to $200 million.
$200 million.
Yes. Ne papa ne beka. Ne papa. And no crese obede. Ne company is Spartan Ives. Or more for beachfront no. Now,
hi.
After me intercepted document we know. Me sign so intercepted the transaction advisors report. Many about and no crowd look, is the most explosive. Hey, me what transaction advisor we know. Seeker taxpayers' money. And you engage in $491,000. That is about 7.1 million Ghana cedis.
For what?
Sir, Ombe advise Senate for on this transaction. And the answer na you better hotels no crown, you 7.1 million. You the same capital echo. $491,000.
Na sasa kanu crown say to me ebusu hotel no crown marginal na.
Yeah, mo say muni sika mu ye desperate. Nanso no problem. Sika kese we are more spending to engage a transaction advisor. Transaction advisor I issue report 24th May 2024. Tumofo. Say Rock City deal no more ignore transaction advisor no.
And then they can't buy and for so also.
Good financial loss. Mun say transaction advisor no mun tie ni advice. Ebani signer mu engage no. At least save us the money.
What Mama Shadi?
This is a transaction advisors report addressed to the board.
The board of trustees.
Of trustees.
From the transaction advisor.
Yeah, same capital.
24th May 2024.
Yeah. And Mamin Kain, a summary of the findings on the Rock City Bay. Hey. Page 2. And this is signed by Sam Capital for CEO, Dr. Sam Mensah, the signature.
When they are authentic.
Dr. Sam Mensah. Yeah.
Authentic.
You ignore what I said. Transaction advisor, over 7 million. Say, on be advices net. No,
advice 7 million.
Hey, or your doctor. Your doctor. Advice.
Okay.
Number 1. Or say, the Rock City proposal is a cash payment of $30.8 million. And then the rest is spread over a 24-month tenure. It's on installment basis. There is no interest rate. Interest rate, none, 0. Yeah. Enti adea mwankasa musi obia obebide no as I say mu wasika no boom one yes because musi mo here say adena mo spread the mo installment. Enti transaction advisor na say the proposal offers an installment plan with no confirmation of availability of funds. Payment is based on the cash flows of Rock City Hotel with no credit enhancement from any bank. There is no indication of ability to pay.
Okay.
The arrangements for the transfer of the shares do not satisfy the Senate's objectives. The transfer of the management and ownership will take 2 years. The 2-year installment plan was not made available to all bidders. Until you can say insider dealing.
Wow.
All the other bidders, no companies, no bid. Young country or say, move to me at Tiano on installment basis over 2 years. Ya kase munyina mu kope musika cash na mu bebidi e ba ne senda bra champon kwa de mo no installment plan mo no 2 years. That is not all. Transaction advisor no say the latest proposal does not meet the objectives of SNET, which were clearly stated in the terms of reference for the transaction. Or say the proposal does not indicate the source of funding for the balance of the acquisition price. Other investors who submitted bids did not have an option of spreading the payment of shares over a 2-year period. Rock City Hotel's latest proposal does not include a bank guarantee. Damning. Minkai report be a damning say. Or say The current proposal does not reflect a bank guarantee and a firm indication of the ability of Rock City Hotel to settle the transaction in full. Below is an analysis of the semi-annual payment that will be required of Rock City at different rates of interest. Now, Onua analysis. And they continue. Assuming that SNIT accepts a 2-year plan with semi-annual payments and an interest rate of 2.5%, the periodic payment that will be required of Rock City Hotel will be $7.8 million. That's $109.7 million. Rock City Hotel's financials cannot support the transaction. The table below shows that Rock City Hotel's total projected annual revenue of 2024 cannot meet the half-year installment payment of 109.7 million Ghana cedis. In addition, the company does not have cash reserves to support the installment payments. In short, the current proposal does not meet the requirement to demonstrate the financial capacity to close the transaction. Same capital. Can you believe that?
So that's a document on your screen. More share on TV. No better.
Inti transaction advisor. Ya tiano sika kesien. 7 million. Atomofo. And this is 24th May. More than a month. And son a board chair no. Ochosa Nekrata, that's her epistle. 26 June. Oka say, no dear, Yakofre Sorabofo from heaven, Bakrana, she knows that they will declare the transaction clean. Now, she had received this report. Last week, press conference now, Kofi Bosempem or Safuma for addressing, he was aware of this transaction advisor's report. And yet was saying, say, Bibia and Bibia ye kama, Bibia ye clean, and that they are going ahead. Look at this damning report. Very damning. Meanwhile, no, Usha SNIT for Ankasa, me were advert on Monday 7 February 2022. Omo LST pre-qualification criteria. Omo ka say, Obia Ubabe Bedeno. Make sure you have sources and proof of funding. And sana yebe consider will bid. Transaction advisor no say Rock City, you didn't have source of funding. You didn't have a bank guarantee. Into say Rock City bid no should not even have qualified. In addition, no SNIT for pre-qualification criteria almost say valid SNIT and GRA clearance certificate. Mubekaya me intercepted documents from GRA. Me will copy waha. These filings at GRA reveal say at the time Rock City put in their bid, no, they couldn't have had a valid tax clearance certificate because bid no was happening in first quarter of 2022. Until you should bring your filings. Almost 2021, me were GRA documents. Okay. 2021, a year 2 years after, 9th March 2023. And Omoko file on taxes for 2021. Until when they were putting in the bid 2022, no, they couldn't have had a valid tax clearance certificate. Because
is that the reason why our respondent said we need proof?
Need proof. Yes, that me need proof na me intercept bibia na obeto obeche me transaco dying as if say me a homeless. I need his house, so that I can move from the streets. These are the documents. So me say my intercept BBA. I have it. Into tax clearance being or the year bid, and that is the prerequisite. More and more can say pre-qualification criteria.
Because it's part of the requirements.
Pre-qualification criteria. Say we need be a disqualify. Into deal with whichever aspect you look at it. A time. A bon kind. Whichever way you look at it. Whichever, and these are the issues. Internal organized labor will be anybody who has seen these documents. Say, what is going on here? Dear Cosno, a work and pay. Ye chair hotel no. Ye chemudia monka say hotel no. Ya decided say, ye demand your colleague in government.
Yeah.
Ye de channel. Just say that now ye na yatias here. Because that's what is happening.
Yeah. That's our investment.
Yes, that's our investment.
Obia SNIT contributor, that's your money. It's your investment. So you should have interest.
Inti, when you look at the issues, they are very clear, sir. These are fundamental issues. There were constitutional violations. There were violations of your Income Tax Act. Violations of your procurement laws. And then, if you look at even the valuation report, if you look at the transaction advisors report, it's all a disaster. It's a total mess. The whole arrangement, you know, about the work and pay arrangement. Sikana Labadi Beach Hotel for a one, and no na anka omode be over the 2-year period, you know. Now because me were Labadi Beach for omo profits, omo financial statements. Osha last year and for the month ending 31st December 2023. Labadi Beach Hotel into sa press conference now. Mr. Busimpi, yeah, can say hotels, Nina, Omunfa Bibi and Buffie, just making losses. And you know, Labadi Beach Hotel last year, gross profit 158.4 million. Profit after tax, operating profit, 58.2 million for 2023. The year before 2022, 55 million, according to Deloitte. Deloitte for auditing in America. Labadi Beach Hotel last year omutua dividend 25 million. The year before omutua dividend 10 million. Inti enye no krese hotels ni nyina a basket case. Enye no
10 million Ghana cedis.
10 million 2022 2023 omutua 25 million cedis. 25 million cedis. And the taxes omutua over the last 4 years 40.5 million. This is a cash cow. The whole thing was just going to be a work and pay arrangement. Labadi for Sikano and Rock City for a debate to your installment plan. Clearly, that's what was going to go on. And you see, Ushe Labadi for mu history. That should have been the model, say. La Palm, Royal Ridge, Elmina, as they say, no. They are not making profit. Labadi, about 15 years ago, they were also struggling.
Sure.
And the Ernest Thompson-led leadership, invite hotel management company be a Yefre Legacy from South Africa. And a legacy for into a ton hotel na just sign management contract. So Munim said I managing hotels. Into move managing namun in the process no more knowledge transfer. Munchre Ghana for no send a manager after no na more handy over. Into after 10 years or more transforming Labadi and no more demand Ghana for. Ghana for no have been in charge for about 7-8 years and they are still making profit, even better profit than when the South Africans were.
Yeah, we could have tapped into Labadi.
Exactly, into the Labadi model, and you see. And Ernest Thompson had an agreement with the Ernest Thompson-led management, had a similar agreement with La Palm. Aban we buy and Omu cancel that agreement. And Omu appointed political apparatchiks to manage these hotels without looking at Omu competence, Omu expertise in hotel management. Into the issue is about management. And you say, Yantong, say if look at these two hotels, Labadi, La Palm. Same stretch, same road, beachfront. It's just a 2 minutes walk. Yembisa Yahuse, Argentina Labadi for
they are doing well.
Decline profit, doing so well. And La Palm just next door, struggling. Meanwhile, La Palm, there were more rooms, there were bigger conferencing facilities. Into how come? It should tell you, say, it's a management issue. It's not about selling it. It's just appoint the right management. And the fortunes will be turned around. But if you have these political apparatchiks, one of them acted for 6 months, or say, $18,000. I put out those memos. How can the place make profit? Don't sell it. It's just appoint the right people. Change management. Adia yedi yesika esi over all these years. Ghana workers. And then you come to this conclusion, say, I mean, why? It simply doesn't make sense. Moamu Labadi story. Just adapt, replicate the Labadi story for La Palm, for Ridge Royal, for Elmina, for Buzia, for Trust Lodge. And we are home and dry. And look, whichever way you look at this, it's just the state capture. Hotels, we, as I said, the Ghanaian people don't deserve it. We must have it. That's what this is about. Because there can be no, I mean, idea a year profit. I don't think Omudi Labadi account. Because some more argument, they say, oh, yeah, ton hotels are a year losses.
Yeah.
That's your argument. Then why add Labadi? If you wanted us to believe in your principle, to see that you have credibility, say there more no.
Ne
kwanso no. Anka and say Labadi account. But they are moon separate. Now moon dealing with only those making losses. Now you who say, oh, okay. They more cano crack. But it doesn't make sense. More time together with their boom, and then you are treating all of them the same way. And then no value for money. Say offer no crana way below my valuation. Transaction advisor, I advise him on May 24. Say idea we are yeah, very damning. And you mean America? Dr. Sam Mensah, the transaction advisor. You have $491,000. Enti munim say mo si mutumu po enye sa na mukano. De mo be ya na mo be ye no. Adenti na mo betam ye sika. Over 7 years say mo kotia transaction advisor. Say on betu mofo. Meanwhile munim say de mo be ya na mo be ye. Obi atumufo amuntie. Enti why waste our money? Why? Ghana anka a private company. Will you do this? That is the question which was. Okay. Will you do that?